The hedge behind me has been left to grow for a couple of years, or at least the top portion of it has. The side bits have still been cut, otherwise it would just be like brambles growing out and rooting in. But the top part, the main growing part, has been left to grow. And you can cut hedges on a rotational basis where you cut them either every other year or every 3 years, and then you can sort of like do all of your hedges like on like so many each year, a third of the hedges each year or half the hedges each year. And you still need to cut the sides really in the growing season and when you cut the hedges in the winter. But just leaving them for a couple of years, it means you've got like a higher hedge, you've got more space for nesting birds. A lot of the flowering shrubs like behind me is a Gelder rose in the hedge there, and it's if the hedge had been cut, it would still have some flowers, but it wouldn't have as many. And then you've got all the insects and all the other wildlife that's attracted by having a bigger hedge. I mean, it does create more shade. If you've got a smaller space, it might make more of the garden shady, but if you've got the space, doing this is quite a good idea because it encourages more wildlife, and it is kind of good. If you can't just like let them grow. If you let them grow completely, they just turn into a row of trees. But just to keep them as a hedge, but just have them a little bit higher and to encourage even more wildlife than they would anyway, it's a good thing to consider. So rotational hedge cutting is quite a good thing. I mean, they say also it reduces the labour, but when you do come to cut the hedge after 3 years of growth, the branches are really thick, much thicker than if you do it every year. So that's one other thing to consider. But it is really kind of nice, and you do get a lot more colour on the hedges, a lot more kind of life, a lot more birds. So it's not for everybody, but it's a good thing to consider.